Hello and good morning, everyone. Good evening to our CapU team in Canada. Thank you, everyone, for joining in for our Agent E-Summit 2021 live with MSM and Capilano University team. I hope this session will certainly add value to your knowledge and experience for Capilano University. This counselor training session is very, very important as it will lead you to your contracts, to your agreements renewals, and so on and so forth. And for Capilano University, it's very important to have the agreement before you send your student. So I would like to introduce you the panelists for the sessions. We've got Francisco and we've got Jürgen for today's session. Those who will be taking you forward with Capilano University's presentation. Please note the important points throughout the PPT, and by the time we are there, the MSM team will be there to answer your questions, and we'll also be answering few questions live, whatever are one of the important questions that is required for all of us. So over to you, Francisco and Jürgen.
Thanks, Takshita, and good morning, everyone in India. My name is Francisco Silva. I'm a manager in the Center for International Experience here at Capilano University in Vancouver, Canada. It is my pleasure to be here today with you and such a special night in Canada and a special day in India. And today we also have Jürgen Mistry. He's also part of the team in the Center for International Experience. So he'll be my co-host. And along with the team in India, with MSN, we'll spend about, I would say an hour, a little bit over an hour, depending on your questions. But it's going to be a long presentation, I've got to say. We're going to talk about Capilano University, program information. We're going to talk about what it takes for a student from India, an international student, to apply to Capilano University. And we're going to talk about a little bit about the current situation in Canada around the global pandemic and COVID-19. So lots of information. I suggest you to prepare your questions, get a notepad. If you have specific questions that we might not be able to address during this presentation, the team in India can also assist after the presentation. And by the way, this presentation is being recorded, so you will receive a copy of this presentation and PowerPoint presentation in the next days. Sounds good? So let's just jump into the presentation, because as I said, this presentation is condensed. So let's move to the next slide, Jürgen, if you don't mind. And all right, so as I mentioned, this is the agenda, and this is what we'll be covering today in this presentation, and nothing different from what I mentioned. And I hope that we will be able to answer to all your questions while we present this presentation. Next slide, please. Thank you. Thank you, Jürgen. So here it is, and by the way, the last year, and we were preparing to go to India. And I remember, actually, I was the one who was ready to go to India and present. You can go to the slide if you want, to the previous slides, Jürgen, before the video. Thank you. I was afraid that we do these presentations in India in person, and we do also engage with new international students, with viewer students, and this pre-departure orientation. In the picture you can see on the right, that's Chris Bottrill. Chris, he's the lead of international at Capilano University. He was planning to be here with us today, but he's got another meeting today that he's attending. He might join us during this presentation, and he might be with us for a few minutes, or perhaps towards the end of the presentation. But this is what represents for us going to India and do these presentations and connect with you in person. We are aware of the situation in India. We know that you probably aware that that right now flights coming from India are suspended to come to Canada for the next 30 days. We know that the situation in India and it's not the best for you and your family, so we wish you for the best. And so say that this kind of decision is for the benefit of both countries. We share similar challenges in both countries. So it's perhaps one of the best measures or best decisions that the federal governments could have taken, but we are aware of this situation and we're trying to get answers for you as the announcement came just recent. So here it is. We hope for the next training sessions that we can be with you in person and with the team in India. So next slide, please, Jürgen. Before when the pandemic started, we started to move into online classes, into online courses. So we started to move also our marketing efforts into moving to digital and to have all these recruitment efforts that we do into digital. One of them was a digital campaign that we created. This is a video that it's been promoted in social media, that is promoted and that you can use also for your presentations about being a student at international, being a student at Capilano University. So if you don't mind, Jürgen, if you don't mind playing the video.
Maybe you're here, or even here, and you've definitely watched the world go by from here. Now you've got that feeling, the feeling of wanting to do more. Challenge yourself. And here, you'll get a customized learning experience as a participant, not a spectator. You'll be mentored by experts. They might even hire you one day. Really? Yep. And instead of seeing problems, you'll start shining a light on
Yogan, your video is your sound is not coming in. I believe that you'll have to unmute it, but that's okay. We'll go to the next slide. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Jürgen. Sometimes we have these challenges with technology, as you know. And just a little bit of what the life in campus is in normal life. And here's another video that hopefully works for all of you. So thanks, Jürgen.
Yeah.
All right, this one worked. So thank you, Jürgen. So let's move to the next slide and let's talk a little bit about the life in Vancouver. You're an agent. You might be working with other institutions, so you might be familiar with Canada and Vancouver. So you might have already the knowledge and how the city looks like and how lucky and students are to be in a city that is full of wilderness. It's a world-class city. If you want to move to the next slide, Jürgen, thank you. So what you see in the screen is campus is located surrounded by nature, mountains located in the north shore of these mountains. Teaching focus the one of the aspects that we specialize is that we have a very strong emphasis on technical skills. Instructors take great pride in their teaching abilities. The Center for Teaching Excellence, they're constantly updating and getting into professional development to get an update. And if you want to move to the next slide as well, Jürgen, I don't know if you guys are able to see me. Okay, yeah.
Yes, we can.
Affordable tuition. I always say that the currency being in Canadian dollars compared with institutions in the US. And if you compare this university with local other universities here in BC, you can see that the options for tuition for students is affordable. Next slides, programs that requires the practical experience and hands-on training. That's also applied into every program that you see in Capilano University, such as filming, human kinetics, ECCE, early childhood education, tourism, outdoor and recreation. Also, the university has students accommodations. So for students that they're looking into housing and to experience life in residence, Capilano University also offers a student accommodation. So just to have an idea and to take advantage of technology and Google, you can see that Vancouver, you might not be able to see my mouse, my pointer, but if you can see, it's surrounded by 3 big mountains, like Cypress Mountain, Grouse Mountain, and Seymour Mountains. These are local mountains where students and local people can go and ski. Maybe at the end of the day, where students finish classes, can go and join and take advantage of the ski activities in the North Shore. It's also close to downtown Vancouver, as you can see in the logo in the down part of your screen, and close to the Vancouver International Airport. So pretty centric. We're close to Vancouver, downtown Vancouver. And so just a few facts about Vancouver. Capilano University, it's 50 years old, over 50 years old university, founded in 1968. So we're an established institution, public, funded in the province of British Columbia. Teaching and learning university, campuses located in the North Shore, as I mentioned, in the city of North Vancouver. We got more than 9,000 students and over 2,500 international students represent the enrollment from international. They come from over 80 countries. As you saw on the map, this downtown Vancouver is located, that campus is located close to downtown Vancouver. And we offer programs, credentials, and diplomas, degrees, and postgraduate studies. Okay. Accreditations, we are the first BC institution with the American accreditation that it's recognized in many parts of the States. So we're one of the few institutions in BC that has this accreditation. Next slide, please, Jürgen. Thank you. So I mentioned that my role is with the Center for International Experience. We work with new students, existing students, providing services, not just in admitting and recruitment students. We also provide services for current international students and transitioning into their academic success. We also offer immigration advising within our services. So that allows us to serve your students in questions related with study permits, work permits, number of hours that they can work while in Canada, and of course, questions about the postgraduate work permit that you might be also familiar. So just a video to represent what the services are with the CIA is the next slide, and hopefully this one works as well. So Jürgen, do you mind playing the next slide?
Welcome to CapU, Student Basics for International Students. As a new CapU student, we hope this video will help give you the tools to access your CapU account, your CapU email, your eLearn account where you can find your welcome guide for new international students, and some additional resources that will help you with your transition to Capilano University. As a student, you should become very familiar with the following website, capilanu.ca/mycapu. We suggest you add this as a favorite on your computer or laptop. On the top right-hand side of the website, you'll find where to access your MyCapU link. Your MyCapU account gives you the ability to do many things, including updating your personal information. It's critical to make sure this information is accurate and up to date in case the university needs to reach you in the event of an emergency. Your MyCapU account also gives you the ability to register for classes, check your account balances, and make payments. When logging into your account, you'll need your student number, username, and initial password, which will be your birthday, 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the day, and 2 digits for the year. Your student number is 9 digits long and usually starts with 100. Your username is typically your first name and last name together. Your initial password will be your birthday. For instance, if your birthday is May 8, 1999, your initial password would be 050899. Your email address will be your username at my.capilanou.ca. To double check what your username is, go to your MyCapU account, then to your personal information and view user ID. Note, your banner ID is your CapU student number. It's very important to remember your username, as you'll need it to log into other MyCap services. If you're looking to check your course schedule, you will again need to go to your MyCapU, click on MyCapU account, then follow onto Student Services. Under Student Services, you then click on Registration. From here, you'll find Student Schedule by day and time. Once you find your schedule, you can click on Next Week to review your upcoming schedule. If you're looking to check your account balance, you'll again need to access your MyCapU account through your Refer to Student Services. From here, you'll need to go to Student Records and then onto Account Summary by term. Make sure your balance is $0. Otherwise, late payment fees and holds may be applied. You'll not be able to renew your transit pass, called the Compass Card, and you may be unable to register for future courses. If you have a negative account balance, for example, if your term balance reads negative $200, this simply means that you have a credit on your account. If you're looking to view holds on your account, you'll need to go to your MyCapU account and refer to Student Services. From here, you'll need to go to Student Records, where you'll be able to view the following holds. There are 3 types of holds: study permit holds, student record holds, account receivable holds. If you have a hold on your study permit, make sure you have submitted your valid study permit to the CIE. You can do this by uploading your study permit to the document Dropbox in your welcome guide for international students in your eLearn account. If you have a hold on your student record, make sure you have submitted your final transcripts and documents to the Center for International Experience by emailing inted@capilanou.ca. If you have a hold on your accounts receivable, make sure you contact the cashier's office to pay your unpaid fees. You will need to clear all holds, or else you may not be able to register in courses for the next term, access university services, renew your transit pass called the Compass Card, or get a copy of your transcript or any official documents from the university. To verify your enrollment at CapU, you will again need to go to your MyCapU account. Refer to Student Services. Under Student Services, you'll need to go to Student Records, and from there, you'll be able to view or print your enrollment verification. Now that you're a CapU student, make sure you check your Capilano University email frequently. Following orientation during the first week of classes, all email communications from the university and the Center for International Experience will only be sent to your CapU email address, not your personal email address. To access your email, you'll need to go to capilanou.ca/mycapu. Under MyCapU, click on MyCapU email. To log into your email account, you'll need your email address and password. Your email address is your username at my.capilanou.ca. Your password will be the same as your MyCapU account. As mentioned before, you must use this email for all communication with the university. If you're communicating with the CIE, make sure you include your student number within the subject line of your email. As a new student, you'll need to access your welcome guide for international students through your eLearn account. You can access your eLearn account by visiting elearn.capu.ca/my. Again, you'll need to have your username and password, same as your MyCapU account, to access your eLearn dashboard. From your eLearn account, you should be able to access and view your welcome guide for new international students. It's very important to go through this guide in its entirety to understand all you need to know as a new international CapU student. You can reference this guide throughout your studies at CapU, as different modules will be very helpful during different stages of your education in Canada. As a new international student, be familiar with your CapU academic resources. To access your academic resources, dates, and information, go to capilanou.ca/mycapu. From here, you'll be able to view a few important resources that will help with your transition to CapU, including your MyCapU schedule, academic schedule, and important dates, registration dates, and student responsibilities. Lastly, as a student at Capilano University, you have access to technology help, specifically IT services. To request help, go to MyCapU and look for technology help for students. IT services can help you with many things, including logging into your MyCapU account, online tools and software issues, printing, scanning, photocopying, Wi-Fi connectivity, and more. As a new CapU student, we hope this resource is useful to you and will support your successful transition to Capilano University. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact the Center for International Experience at inted@capilanou.ca. We're here to help and guide you along your CapU journey.
Excellent. Thanks. I'm glad the audio worked. It's a little bit long, the video, but we know that this information is important, especially you as a new potential agent. You might be familiar with similar process with other universities, but it's important information. And we can share this video after this presentation, as I mentioned early today. So I mentioned that we are going to talk about the current COVID-19 situation and some considerations before advising students to submit an application or to come to Canada if you have a student coming to Canada with another institution. So first is the study. You can complete right now your program from anywhere in the world. As you know, we're currently taking classes are given in online mode. So we all classes are currently online. The time zone that you will be connected as well, consider that the internet connection, travel, the current travel bans currently in place, and as things move also forward and evolves, also the quarantine that you have to prepare, the 3 nights hotel accommodation, and eventually you need to complete you might have to complete your credential in Canada. So all these considerations before advising if it's right now the time to start preparing and to travel to Canada. Summer courses for those, as you might know, this year's summer is being offered in the same mode. Classes will be given online, but we're preparing for the fall 2021. We are hoping to return to campus, and currently right now our office is working with faculties and the registrar's office to have different types of options for the students who cannot travel to Canada, that they can choose online courses. So there might be, we don't know how September is going to look ahead and what the details of what it takes from a student, international student, not just from India, to come to Canada and to go to campus. But the good news is that for the students, we will have an option that if a student cannot come for any reason, might be because the vaccine, the student hasn't been vaccinated or the student can travel to Canada, that we will offer a series of different options online courses. So just to continue, where to find information about COVID-19, because there is right now there is a lot of questions around updates. There is in the section of if you click on international programs and courses, you go to international students, you go to the international students website, and right at the bottom you see that there is COVID-19 information, and then you'll find that there is detailed information coming from official sources that we make an effort of updating it for you and for the students to make sure that you have the last piece of information about what's happening in the country. Then we have an extended long questions and answers section. So you can see in the screen, you can see questions about future international students as well, and what are the requirements. If you look at the next slides, if you click on that, will you be offering programs in the will we be running programs in 2020-2021 academic year? You click on the arrow and you see the drop-down menu. All this information is taken from official sources, and we communicate those to the student as soon as we get the news release. As soon as we get the information from government, we let you and the students know what's happening. As a matter of fact, today we send a communication to all students from India currently at Capilano University about the travel ban over the next 30 days, and offering resources on how they can reach out for help. Yeah, if we move forward to the next slide, Jürgen. So here's the one of the official websites, and we take everything that we put on the website. It's taken from these government official sources. Thank you. At the same time, here's an example of a chart. There is a lot of questions again of, can I study? Can I commence my studies without a study permit? When can I drop my courses? When can I register? If you look, this is a chart that we put in every orientation, and we send that to students, and we let them know that these are the options that you have for this current semester. This is spring semester of 2021. We're completing this current semester. The students, we give the options of extending the deadline for dropping these courses, because we knew that many of them, they were waiting for a study permit, and many of them, they were waiting to hear from IRCC on the study permits. We were able to extend the deadline for the add and drop period. So that means that the students, they didn't have to pay tuition until the end of the semester. So actually tomorrow is the deadline for the students. And that helped for those who were waiting and passed the deadline, got the study permit. They benefit from this exception. We don't know how that's going to look in the summertime. We're still looking at what the options are, but this is an example that we send as soon as we know and we hear from different stakeholders. We update the students and we update you as an agent. We have worked with an extensive next slide. You can move to the next slide. Text. It's a comprehensive document, and I spent. Jürgen and I, we help and we assist new students on updating them on the current travel restrictions. We have an extensive tool for the student, and it's called the Travel and Self-Isolation Guide. You see in your screen. This is located in the International Students website that I just show you in a few slides. It has plenty of information. Again, every time we hear there's an update from federal or provincial government, we update this document. So it's a good tool for give to students. Okay, so I'm just moving a little bit faster because I want to be mindful of the time, and as I mentioned, we need to cover programs, admissions, and as well to, of course, answer to your questions. So first, Capilano University, we've got a program guide. This is the most recent, actually 2021-2020 Two, right now, this is available in PDF. You can, it's public. You can go into Capilano's website and download the PDF version. Great tool as a new agent to get familiar with fees. As you can see on the screen, you can see the cost per semester for the whole credential for the whole time your student will be in Canada. So it's a good tool for you to use when you're presenting to the student and families. This is located, excuse me again, in the International Student website. You can do a search on the website and it will take you to the CIE, the Center for International Experience website. And at the bottom, you can see, you can click on the, it says International Student Guide 2021-2022, and then you can download the PDF version of it. Okay. So I'm going to pass it over to Jorgen in a few minutes. Before that, I just wanted to mention, do you mind going to the first slide before this one, Jorgen? Thank you. So some of the distinctive courses that international students take at Capilano University is the ones that you see in your screen overall. We know that your students from India, they tend to go into arts and science, but we've seen the students going to film and animation, Jorgen knows, and students going to different disciplines. But we know that the international students, they're taking these current courses that you see in your screen. So next, we're going to play a quick video about the what the School of Global and Community Studies is. And so it represents what the program says, and it represents also the local community. And I'm going to ask Jorgen if you don't mind playing it. All right, thanks, Jorgen. So programs in tourism and management. This is a bachelor's degree. There is a tourism management co-op program as a diploma. Programs in outdoor recreation, human kinetics. You can see the credential, a 2 years diploma, and in global hospitality tourism. This is a post-bac diploma program. It's quite popular also with international students. All right, so I'll pass it over to Jorgen to help me out to go over the School of Business and Professional Studies. And we're going to talk about I would say it's one of the most popular program and for international students, not just from India, from other parts of the world, which is the NAVU program. So Jorgen, you want to take it away?
Yeah, thank you so much, Francisco. Just quickly introduce myself. My name is Jorgen. And I've been working at Capilano University for almost 2.5 years now. Work as an international student admission and recruitment assistant. And I help all the agents, and I work on commissions, agent contracts, recruitment. And I also assist Francisco and Chris on various other projects. So without wasting further time, I'm just going to quickly run you through our business programs. So we have a bachelor in business, a diploma and a certificate. So students can choose any. We also have a communications diploma, legal studies diploma, bachelor, and something to keep in note of the business programs is our admission turnaround time is really fast for the business program. So if you have all the documents, then we can actually give you the offer letter within a week. So something to keep in mind. The North American Business Management, it's another very popular program. It's a post-bac program. So students who already have a bachelor's degree and who are interested in furthering their skills in business management. These are the two options, the first and second column that you see on your screen. So the first is NABU. It's a 3-term course, so it finishes in 1 year, and students are eligible for a 1-year postgraduate work permit. But the more popular one is the NABU Applied, which is a 16-month program, but students are eligible for a 3-year work permit. So it's a great program. It's a great return on investment. You get to finish your program in less than 2 years, and then you can work for almost up to 3 years. It also has a practicum for 4 months. So most of the students who work during their practicum secure a job, and then they just keep continuing throughout their work permit as well. And we have humanities and social science. So these are most of our associate programs. So these are associate degrees in arts and sciences and psychology. These are 2-year programs. And again, students are eligible for a 3-year work permit. A lot of students also, once they finish their associate degree, they can go ahead and do a bachelor's from another university. So that's a great advantage of starting at Capilano and then moving ahead and branching out into different fields. So biology, associate degree. We also have engineering, certificate and diploma, associate of science degree. Again, these programs our admissions cycle is pretty fast. So if you have all the documents, then we can give you the offer letter pretty quickly within a week's time. And we will play a small video on the School of... So I'm just gonna skip on this one. And we'll quickly go on the Early Childhood Care and Education Program, ECC Pathway, and Music Therapy Program. These are very, very competitive programs. So admission cycles, as I've been mentioning all along, that we are very quick. For these programs, it's a little difficult to get admission in quickly, because the department will take all the applications, they will do the screening, and it takes few months for them to make that decision. So a lot of agents sometimes get frustrated that I've already applied, it's been few months, why am I not hearing back? So there are certain programs that have more competitive screening process. So that's the reason some programs you might expect to hear quickly, and some programs might take a little bit longer.
My experience at CAP studying animation has been so much fun. It's such a beautiful campus, and it's just a much more welcoming environment than anywhere I've ever been. So 2D animation is the process of basically bringing something to life, starting from nothing with just a pencil and paper. It's really interesting to watch it at the end, because while you're animating something, you can get really caught up in just drawing frame by frame. Does this frame look good? Does that frame look good? And then when you play it all together, it's just amazing to watch it come to life. I didn't realize until I got into the program just how many jobs there are available in animation. You can do character design, you can do prop design, you can design backgrounds, you can do the animation itself. And what's great about the program is that you really get to try on all those different hats.
There are so many jobs available because there's just so many shows popping up. Netflix wants one, Amazon wants one. I think CAP prepared me by setting up a real studio environment at school. And so you're really close to your peers, working in group clusters and working in different sections. Some people are designers, some people are animators. And so when I have an issue, I can go right to a designer and I know what they're talking about.
Our one main goal is that students are prepared for the industry to get that one job, but that they also have the foundation of skills that will let them rise through the ranks. Students at Capilano get their own Cintiq drawing station, computer, desk.
I would definitely recommend the program, and I'd say you really don't need any animation experience to get started. They will give you everything you need.
All right, so that was our School of Motion Picture Arts. Again, amazing programs. Vancouver is known for as a hub for filmmaking and filming. It's called the Hollywood of the North. So we have amazing programs like motion picture arts, 2D animation, 3D animation, costuming, documentary, digital visual effects. So something to really look into. Again, these programs might have a slightly different admission cycle. So some programs do require there's an audition or an interview, so they might take a little bit longer than some other programs. We also have School of Performing Arts, so we have programs like jazz studies, we have music, we have arts and entertainment management, acting for stage and screen, musical theater, technical theater, conducting. So again, on campus, if you see, we have a huge variety of students. And there's sometimes it's amazing to see that students are playing music on one side. There's some theater going on. There's some people doing business programs. Students are like sitting in a corner. They're doing some calculations. So we have these students bring a lot of personality to the university, and it's a great way of for students to get involved and build those friendships and build those relationships going forward into their careers. And lastly, we have the IDEA School of Design, again, a very, very competitive program. It's called Design and Visual Communication. It's a 4-year bachelor, requires an audition, requires a portfolio. Again, great prospects if someone is really interested in design. One of the best schools in British Columbia for visual communication. And we also have some pathway programs. So students who are not up to the mark with their English levels. So if they don't have 6.5 in IELTS and they still want to get started, we also have business pathway and ECC pathway programs along with our EAP program. So a great option for students who want to just start their program, get some basic English going on, and then they can get into their academic program as well. And moving to admissions. So Francisco, maybe you want to help me here. And
yeah, thanks. Thank you, Jogin. That goes along with the program information that you just presented. And again, for everyone, we wish that we can spend that time with you and go over this each of these programs. The best way to navigate this, as Jogin is showing your screen, is to go onto the website because that's the most updated information that you have. And of course, to also reach out to our team in India. They've been doing an amazing job on providing information about what's currently open, deadlines, and program requirements. So as I mentioned, the best way to go is into the website, and the section that you are right now. This is the admission requirements. So for every single program, there is an English language requirement. For some programs, it's a little bit lower than the average points that the student needs. Some other programs require different. So it's important to check on the admission requirements and what are the English requirements for each of that. So for example, there is also a section for the international secondary school equivalencies for many parts of the world. And as well as how to find program information. So you can find programs per area of study, program credential, or you can do a search and see if we have the course they're looking for your students. And it also shows you what the credential is, if it's a diploma, if it's a bachelor's degree. The website will show you also the application details and such as deadlines. I mentioned when this program is offered, if it's offered throughout the whole year in the 3 semesters, if it's offered only in the semester and the fall intake, which is when all the programs are available, how to apply, and it walks you pretty simple and pretty easy. As I mentioned, if you have particular questions, feel free to contact the office in India to contact us, and we can help you navigating. Tuition and fees, we have a tool for the students and for yourself. It's an amazing tool. You can search tuition fee estimator on our website, and you can calculate how much it would cost you the program for your student. So you have just to select the program and choose international fees, and you get the estimated fees for the students. Okay, so that's an example. We begin tourism. And many of you might be familiar already with Education Planner BC. This is a website, a portal that it's operated by the provincial government, where public institutions, you can see it's run by the British Columbia provincial government. And so students, they need to create an account. You as an agent, you might be doing that for a student. You go and select, after you create your account, you fill out your personal information, contact information, and the next slide is important. You make sure that you select Capilano University and you black out the rest of the universities, and that you submit your application, making sure that you pay the application fee. I've seen incompleted applications that we cannot process until the whole payment is made. So you select the faculty, you select the program. You have also the option to have a second choice in case that your student doesn't qualify for that program. We go by the second option, and then you pay your application fee. For international students, it's a $135 application fee. I know it says $50, but it's important. You might know this is $135 application fee. The student submit the application, and we start sending you the communication on what are the next steps are. So basically, we'll send you an acknowledged letter saying that we have received your payment, we're processing your application, and this is what you need to submit for us to send you our offer. If your student meets the requirements and we have all the documentation, then we ask the student to pay a $5,000 international fee deposit that goes towards the tuition for the first semester for the student. And the student pays this fee and receives a letter of acceptance that can be used to apply for the study permit, information that you might know already. We give them an important tool that is a welcome guide for international students. It has plenty of information for new students, how to set up, how to become and get ready as a new student. And we ask the student to register for courses. That's also important. Without registering for courses, you cannot come and take classes. And attend orientation. During orientation is an opportunity to meet with other students, staff, and to learn about the resources that we have in the university. Here's an example of the letter of offer, the offer letter. You might be familiar. This is the one that we use at Capilano University. Deadlines for completed applications. We've got the 3 main intakes, and we have recommended deadlines that we have for you, because we know that study permits might take long, and we ask you to submit applications before the deadline. So the earlier that you apply, the earlier we can get your students admitted. So just some tips. You might also be doing that already, working with other universities, but all copies of documents need to be scanned, preferably in the same file, so we can process your application faster. Must include phone, email on the application form, and just make sure that the student signs the third-party release form so we can help you and your students. All payments are made by Flywire. You might be familiar with this portal. It's pretty simple. Students are paying nowadays online, and this is a great tool that we offer to students and agents. And student residence, to offer students residence as well, because we have that option. It's close to campus, as we presented earlier. So it's also information that can be useful for your students. All right. So how are we doing with time? It's 10:20 here in Vancouver. It's almost 11 o'clock in India. So I'll move a little bit faster. Processing times, Jürgen just mentioned as well that there's programs that we can admit you in less than 2 weeks. We usually admit students in 7 days if we have all the documents. But other programs are competitive programs, and we have to wait until faculty makes decisions. Some tools and resources for students and for agents as well. So admissions, you can see in your screen. Again, this presentation, this slide, will send it to you. So you don't have to take notes, but we can direct you to the different service area and the university, including agent commission that you might be interested as well to reach out. The next slide, Jürgen, if you don't mind, medical insurance. So we know that that it's mandatory to come and to have a valid study permit when you come to Canada. Every resident of British Columbia is eligible for medical service plan, but it's taking time nowadays to get enrolled into MSP. We call it MSP, Medical Service Plan. So we enroll them into a medical. It's an international medical insurance company that works with many universities in Canada and the US, and we take that and we provide that information to your students on time. So that's important, especially nowadays that students come insured. So here's just a representation for the first 3 months. We enroll your students into Garmin until they get enrolled into the medical service plan in BC. At the same time, students get extended benefits. That's for dental services that MSP medical service do not cover. Students can get discounted services with the student union. And yeah, that's the medical insurance. We're just about to wrap up. When we're in campus, we love to have fun, and we love to have your students coming from anywhere and to have this campus life. That's why the university life should be. Things changed over the last months. We're hoping to get back into this soon. And as I mentioned, we're working on going back to campus in September, and we hope that we can offer different options for students and to be fully operational in January 2022. And next slide, please, Jörn. Ta-da. Thank you for being with us for the last almost over 50 minutes. I see that Chris, you're connected. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to, because we didn't ask, I didn't stop for questions and answers. Again, time went pretty fast, but I'll first want to introduce Chris Bottrell. He's the director in the international office. He's the leader in international, and I'm glad that he was able to join us. And after that, after the introduction, Chris, if you don't mind, if you want to just take it over and introduce yourself, and then we can go over the questions and answers for the next 5-10 minutes, if that sounds good. So take it away.
Thank you. I won't take very much time at all, but it's a pleasure to be with you here in this session. I had to join late, but you're in good hands with Francisco, Jürgen, and Dakshita and the team there to be at a board meeting of which I've been the chairman for the last two and a half years. And so that just wrapped up. That was in Thailand, and now I've come over to India. It's really good, this new way of traveling. You can get around quite quickly. So it's a real pleasure to see you. I know there's nearly 300 people on the line, 300 agents on the line. I just want to say to you how appreciative we are that you are working with us. We really look forward to having a good working relationship with you, and we cannot wait to be there with you. I'm sure Francisco and the team have already said this. We know how challenging it is right now, and we wish you all the best, and you're safe and secure in your homes, for your family, your friends, your community. It's tough times, and we just really hope that you're doing okay. So thank you for supporting us, and we really look forward to working with you. If we've worked with you already, we look forward to continuing. If you're new, then we really look forward to working with you as well. So I don't want to take any more time. You've listened to a lot of us talk, but I'll pass it back over to questions. So I think maybe Dakshita, you probably might have some questions you want to put to the team here.
Yeah. Thank you, Francisco, Yogan, and Chris. Thank you, Francisco and Yogan, for the detailed presentation. And thank you so much, Chris, for joining in. So I am going to take you through some questions, even though there were few questions, many questions actually, which our team is already answering, but there are a few questions which are important for everyone to be addressed. As mentioned, so the first question is that, do we have any licensed immigration advisor for visa related inquiries at the campus, or someone in the international team?
I can take on that one. So we have regular immigration in the office, Ricias in the office. And as a matter of fact, we're in Metro Vancouver. We're in a few institutions that we have more. We have 5 Ricias in the office, and I can tell you that this service is popular right now with international students. So every time we post a webinar on postgraduate work permit, we've got over 100, sometimes 200 students interested in learning. And we offered, as I mentioned, when I presented the CIE services, that we offer immigration advising for new and current students, questions related with work permit, study permit extensions, number of hours that students are allowed to work in Canada. It's quite popular service, and we would like to. Currently, it's online. Currently, this service is offered online, and we found that the offering this service online, we're saving more students. Quite popular, as I mentioned. So yes, the answer is yes.
Okay. The second question is that when a credit transfer student comes to Capilano, then he is asked to deposit 5,000 CAD, and that is our requirement. One has to submit 5,000 CAD to be accepted in Capilano, but before the credit transfer is communicated. So would anyone like to comment on this? Because this is our standard requirement. To be accepted in Capilano, you need to submit the $5,000. And it's really not possible to do the credit transfer thing altogether without having that initial deposit. The question was that, why do we ask for 5,000 Canadian dollars?
Yeah, so it takes up to doing the transfer credit from a foreign institution. It takes time. Sometimes the students, they want to start right away, and we don't know. Students can start in commence classes, and it's a requirement for every student, for every offer that we send. It's the $5,000 refundable if the students, they don't get the study permit. But in my experience working with other institutions, that's been the practice, and we know that that this is it can take more, and the students, they want to know in advance. But we know that this process can take time. I don't know, Yogan, Chris, if you have any other thought.
I think I'll just simply add, Francisco, that it just demonstrates a show of commitment, and if the student can commit to us that they are dedicated to starting the program, then we know they're ready to accept them. We can plan accordingly with our allocating classes and instructors to classrooms. It's all part of our enrollment management needs for the institution. So it really just confirms that the student is there, dedicated and ready to go, and we certainly appreciate that. And we want to be able to provide them the best service we possibly can as soon as they've made that commitment. Prior to that, but that certainly confirms our commitment to them.
Is there any job placements for the graduates? Job placements from the university?
There are not job placements, Dakshita, but what we have is in many of the programs we do have practicum components, and those are really designed to provide an introduction for the individual into the workforce. They're very much about creating networks. So we don't actually provide the service to place in jobs, but we do everything we can. It's a very important part of what we do at Capilano to create networks for students upon graduation.
Okay. If a student completed 2 full semesters online in CapU but got rejected, so what is the further process? Let's say the student has completed 1 year online and the other year the student was supposed to come to Canada but got rejected. So how will the process take place?
Go ahead, Francisco.
No, I was gonna say that no, not the answer maybe, but I was gonna say it depends on many things. It depends on many things in different scenarios, and we have seen a lot of students depending when the student started, how long the program student is, the program the student is taking. But it depends on in different things. Sorry, Chris, go on.
Well, I'll just build upon that, Francisco, and Francisco is right. We do have to look at each case for individually. So to provide a blanket answer to that question is a little challenging, because what we try to do is we try to inform everybody that of what the outcomes are going to be from a commitment to the program. But what we have also done in the institution is we have tried to make it possible for students to complete their program online. Now, this doesn't work for every single program because of program requirements that might require a component in Canada, but we are trying our best to make sure that a student, once the student's committed to us, we'll commit to them and we'll help them complete their program of studies, and they can complete, in many cases, online. It does depend on the program, so we need to talk to the student about that in each case. We do recognize, and it's just really difficult times because of this, where we're all in this situation together. We'd love to have just everybody get their permits, come to Canada, start studying, and it would be like the good old days. But it doesn't work quite like that right now. So what we are trying to do is inform students of what the conditions are that they go into when they begin a program, and we are trying to accommodate their needs in every case. So we would like to look at each case individually. Now, we have got in situations where we have extended tuition deadlines, we are looking at each of those cases as well, so that we can try to accommodate the student needs as best we can, so that they can get their study permit and therefore complete their PGWP requirements. But we did that in the spring. We're now extending the opportunity for students that started in the spring into the summer to gain their study permits. Again, we're trying to serve the student, and we're trying to help all involved agents and so on as well, so the students can continue in their program. We're now currently looking at what we'll do for the summer intake. We recognize this is not the students' fault by any means. It's a matter of slow processing times. And so we're trying to work around that together to give them every opportunity. I'm sorry that sounds a little long-winded without a really solid answer. It's just we'll look at every case, and I can assure that we're trying to give the students every opportunity to complete their program of study. Could I add one thing, Dakshita?
Yeah.
This is a bit of news that we just heard. In fact, I only heard it moments ago. And I would hesitate normally to share this, but I think it's important because it's on apparently it's on the IRCC website. And it is that the IRCC announced today that if students complete their study permit application by May 15th, they'll get a decision by August the 6th. If it's after May 15th, they may not get the decision before the start of classes. So this is we'll share this news out to you all, but I just thought I would share that with you, given that it just came through. And that's been a discussion that has been ongoing for a while now where IRCC have seen the merit, or we've expressed to IRCC the merit in giving some deadline assurance under these circumstances. So we're starting to see some movement there. So we'll share more information with you as we get that, but that seems to be an emerging piece of news just today.
Okay. And that's a good news, I believe, that if
It
your
is.
permit is filed before May 15, so I would request all our partner agents to file their study permits, the student study permits application before May 15, so
Absolutely.
that answer before August. So that's a great news. Here is another question. Recently, CIC has been invalidating the travel documents of the students without giving any reason. Even students having valid medical exam, which are facing this. So there might be one of the agents who has faced this. So do you have any update on this? Invalidating the travel documents. So what happens is that once the student reaches the airport, then the travel documents, the travel support letter that we send from here, that is being invalid for some reason. So I think that it all depends on case to case basis, and it all depends on what is happening at the immigration.
It does. We can provide the support we can. We can provide them with documentation to say that they're being accepted into our programs, but we can't control what happens at the border and what the border officers say and do. It's not anything we can do, I'm afraid. We, of course, are very sorry to hear of these circumstances. It's extremely difficult for the student if that's the case and they arrive there expecting to go and they're not allowed for some reason. But what we do is we do our best to provide them with the documentation we know is going to help them the best it can.
The next question is, for us, most of Indian origin students are from New Zealand and they have studied 1 or 2 year postgrad program in New Zealand. English language requirement is still the same for those students that have studied in New Zealand, like the postgrad, or the IELTS can be waived off for those students because New Zealand is an English speaking country.
Are you sure about that? I'm kidding. I'm a New Zealander, so I'm very interested by that question. We're going to look into that question, Dakshita, because I think we need to get a proper answer on that one. We definitely will take a look at that. And
I can just quickly add on to that. If they have completed 4 years in New Zealand, then they don't need IELTS.
Okay. Got it. What about the 2 years that we can discuss?
No. They need 4 years.
That's what we'll discuss.
Yeah. It's also mentioned on the admissions requirement on our website for the English language requirement. So there are other ways to meet the English language requirement. So there are few countries listed on the website. So if they've completed their education like high school from New Zealand, then it's an English speaking country. Chris will agree, and then that's okay with them. But if they didn't do their high school from New Zealand, they just went and studied a 1 year or a 2 year program, then they might need IELTS, but they can double check on our website as well.
Okay, perfect. And the other minimum grade for Nigerian students. So Nigeria doesn't fall under our region, but Chris, would you or Yogan, anyone who would like to answer this?
I'll leave that to Yogan.
Sorry, so what's the question again for Nigeria?
Minimum grade for Nigerian students. What's like the grade requirements? Like we have here 60%, not less than.
It would be depending on the program. So we'll have to see what the application looks like. But for Nigeria, there won't be, English would not be an issue. It's an English speaking country.
Typically, our standards are the same across all countries, Dakshita. We don't differentiate between countries. We have the same kinds of rules for all. So that would be fairly consistent.
Okay, got it. Any other update on the requirements or any other update that, Chris, you would like to provide us? Because all the other questions are related to the SDS and non-SDS category, or let's say the admission requirements, which we will take care of. But if there's anything important that we would like to highlight to wrap up this session, then please go ahead, Chris.
Well, I know that Francisco and Jürgen have covered everything, and I wasn't. Unfortunately, I didn't hear all the details just because I had to be at the other session as well. But Francisco, I think you've mentioned that we're trying to get a restart in September, but we have also purposefully made sure that there are online programs for international students in major programs. That includes the TMI, Global Tourism Hospitality, Post-Baccalaureates, NABU. We have made sure there's allocations in business. We've made sure there's allocations in arts and sciences for the associate degrees. And we will make sure that, we'll make sure that we accommodate as many others as we possibly can. We look forward to coming back as soon as possible because we know that that's the experience that the students really gain from. Capilano is a great place to be and study at. The community, sense of community at the university is something that we've really all enjoyed, and we know the students love it too. So we will make a restart. I suspect we'll be more likely fully operational by January, but we're going to make a start of a restart in September. Hopefully this gives everybody time to get visas, to get to be mobile again, to be vaccinated, and we'll hopefully see a change around the planet that we can all enjoy.
Thank you so much, Chris, and thank you, Jürgen and Francisco, once again. I would like to inform all our partner agents that post this session, we'll be sending you an email with the presentation that Francisco and Jürgen presented during this time. So we will be sending you that presentation. So I think that if you've missed anything, you can go to the presentation once again. And the last thing, it is important for all of you to have the contracts or the agreements from our side. Then only you'll be able to process, then only we'll be able to process the application. We do provide the facility of pre-screening the applications. You can reach out to us in our subcontinent email ID, which Swati and Shaina have already mentioned on chat, and they have also answered more than 120 questions throughout the session. So I believe that most of the questions have been answered, but still, if anything is missing, please email us, please call us. You have got all our numbers and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you, Canada team, once again. It's quite late for you, I believe. It's going to be 11 for you very, very soon. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Dexter and team.
Thank you, Dexter, and thanks the whole team in India as well. Thank you, Jürgen.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Best of luck, everybody.
Yeah.